Hello everyone, this is game 1 in a series between Yumiko and Fly, as I am going to go ahead and speed things up into the 8x speed. I am rather strapped for time today, so I'm going to be forced to speed things up as we see Yumiko opening up with an Archmage. And if you didn't notice, he actually trained up that Archmage extremely early, triple building that Altar of Storms, or sorry, Altar of Kings, in order to get out this Archmage well before the 2-minute mark. Meanwhile, Fly spawning here as the purple orc on the top right-hand side of the map. Nothing too out of the ordinary, as we're going to be looking at Yumiko clearing out an Ogre Magi creep camp and getting almost to level 2 well before the Blade Master gets his first kill. Now, what is going to be unfolding here? Well, this is taken from the WEC2014. It does look like it will be a very good game. A couple of you guys out there had asked me to cast this particular series because it was that entertaining. We are opening up with a triple build on the scout towers here, so very aggressive expansion attempt coming here by Yumiko. Meanwhile, Yumiko is still training up a fair number of peasants back at home, and you can see that Yumiko has yet to build a barracks. Now, what is going to be going down here? The Blade Master on the lookout for what is going on, and what he's going to find is that he cannot steal any guys from here, this mercenary camp. This is a rather unorthodox build, as you can see that there are multiple guard towers and one arcane tower as well. All of those peasants are sitting in the right spot. They're going to be able to get in a lot of repairing, as an unfortunate peasant goes on the outside of this building. And is he going to be able to slip through? No, looks like he will not be able to do exactly that. There it goes, as we now see triple peasants attempting to repair. Militia now coming down as well. More militia coming in here. You can see that the arcane tower is down to 90 some odd hit points, and it looks like one guard tower will complete. Is this one grunt going to get taken down? And it gives level 2 to the Archmage. A huge bonus there, as Yumiko now is at level 2 with Brilliant Aura. Arcane Tower is now up. You see 5-6 peasants ready to start building here, as the Blade Master is purposely blocking this location. Now, what this is going to do is delay Yumiko's expansion even longer, and this is rather annoying. You can see that Yumiko has the right amount of gold. He's waiting for the right time to do so, and all the Blade Master is doing is constantly using Windwalk in order to stop this expansion from going up. All right, it looks like the Town Hall now going to be massively repaired here, and the Blade Master cannot really hope to take this down. Oh, what is this? Oh, it could be very close. Was it? No. Oh, wow. It was canceled in time. As you can take a look, the Blade Master down to 30 mana, unable to do very much, and things are opening up rather nicely for Yumiko. He may try to pick up Dust of Appearance. No, picks up Boots of Speed instead, as this game is now well underway, and I am still rather shocked at what we're taking a look at. So far, the Town Hall is the only main building that can produce any units. More militia being brought down in order to perhaps try and clear up this mercenary camp. This is a very aggressive tactic being brought on by Yumiko, and I can't believe Yumiko, if he gets away with this clearing of this mercenary camp, if Fly does not put pressure here, that is going to be a horrible, tragic mistake. Meanwhile, Fly, it looks like he is sensing that something is wrong. Going to go ahead and check this mercenary camp, and will he be able to get enough damage onto all of these peasants? That is the big question. Troll Shadow Priest attempting to run away. It looks like he will not be able to make it. The grunts are pathing in front of him, and down it goes. Yumiko taking a little bit more damage here, as Fly really trying to punish Yumiko for this rather unorthodox play. Speed Scroll also being used in order to take down peasants as they're running back home, and you can see a number of peasants will fall here as Fly gets another kill. Meanwhile, this guard tower is just in the right spot in order to get taken down by the Blade Master. Peasants are attempting to repair it, and it looks like it should not be a problem. Well, this may actually be very close. The Blade Master, oh, getting an additional peasant on there right now. 4 peasants repairing just the right amount of peasants to keep this guard tower up. But this also means that this farm could possibly fall as well. More peasants could trying to be repaired. Oh, there it goes. The guard tower is now up. It does have more armor, and it does have more hit points as the water elemental comes into position. All right, more peasants massively trying to repair here. You can take a look at this guard tower down to 100 some odd hit points, but it is still being repaired as the Archmage is now surrounded. Double boots of speed on this Archmage, not very good at all. You can take a look. The Archmage does get taken down here as the peasants are now going to be taking more damage still. This has been non-stop fighting so far, but a second guard tower will pretty much make it impossible for the grunts to really put any more pressure. Some crazy plays have already taken place here on Echo Isle. No real time to recap as Fly now moving out with a Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter, the perfect complement to that Blade Master, as the Blade Master really wants to go after those high value targets, the Archmage, the heroes, and getting off a critical hex or keeping that Blade Master alive with a healing wave really adds to it the synergy. All right, let's take a look. Fly coming in over here now. Gonna go ahead and clear out this Troll Trapper creep camp. You can see that Fly really wants level 2 on this Shadow Hunter as he really needs that healing wave. Yes, Hex is very useful, but healing wave is what will keep the Blade Master alive longer once Spirit Link is established. Fly now opting to build a Great Hall of his own, and that is pretty much every gold mine on this map. Why is this important? Why is that so crucial? Because oftentimes players run out of gold on this map if the game goes too long. It is not unheard of for the player who never goes into low upkeep to win because he is able to mine more gold. Now we're taking a look at the Troll Berserker here. It's going to get taken down. Blade Master is sitting at level 2, may get to level 3, and the Shadow Hunter will most likely be... the Shadow Hunter going to get to level 2 instead, as the experience should be shared between the Blade Master and the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter only needs 38 more experience. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a double level? That is the big question. No, oh, wait. Oh, do we have it? It looks as though, yes, we do have the double level. The Shadow Hunter getting just the right amount of experience as we now see the surround. Archmage in a bit of trouble. The Water Elemental able to do a little bit of dodging there as Yumiko taking a lot of damage. Speed Scroll once more being used as the Archmage gets surrounded. Oh, this is very bad news for that Archmage. Archmage looks like it will get taken down for the second time in this matchup, and it looks like Yumiko, even though he does have this keep and this expansion up for a rather long time, he is still paying the price for not having any more units. Now the big question is going to become, will Yumiko perhaps go to straight tier 3 and go mass Griffins? He is upgrading the keep. You see that there is no barracks in play, so it is not unheard of for him to go straight Griffins. Now, straight Griffins means that we do need to see fortified armor come in from that war mill. Otherwise, all of these Orc burrows will get taken down. Let's take a look at this. Arcane Sanctum. We're going to go straight into casters instead. And I don't know if I agree with this. He is sitting on a large amount of gold. Yes, barracks would be very helpful as well. But at the same time, you can see that the counter to those casters is already being trained up. Demolishers are being added onto the field. If you at least try to go for Griffins, then you know that your opponent is going to be stuck making Bat Riders for a little bit of time. Fly now currently sitting at plus 14 damage. Going to clear out the Ogre Magi here and pick up a Potion of Invulnerability, one of the best items on a Blade Master, since he has 15 seconds to freely attack whatever he wants. Archmage still sitting at level 2. You can see Sentry Ward down here. Yumiko sitting on a fair amount of gold, but doesn't quite have enough lumber, even though you can see a lot of peasants are gathering lumber. Let's take a look at this. This is like 6, 7, 8, 9 peasants gathering lumber here, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 workers gathering lumber, 10 workers gathering gold. And that is, what was that, 24 supply? So about half of Yumiko's supply is currently tied up in workers, and this is rather unheard of, at least in Warcraft 3. StarCraft 2, it is not unheard of to have 60, 70 workers, but in a game like Warcraft 3, you are not as much dependent on your macro as you are on your micro and the controlling of units. quickly going into 60 over 78 supply now. You can see triple Arcane Sanctums. The Spellbreakers now being trained up once more. You can also take a look. Yumiko does have the ability to get into the next level of Masonry upgrade. But he is going to be going up against a rather strong Orc army. Blood Mage being added, and I am curious as to how the Blood Mage will be used. The Blood Mage could be used for Siphon Mana for Banish to try and neutralize any sort of Blade Master tactics. When the Blade Master is banished, obviously it cannot attack anything that is not, or it cannot attack anything since it's in the ethereal form. And while in the ethereal form, you pretty much shut down that Blade Master, which is the main damage on that army, or from that army. Level 4 Shadow Hunter coming into play. Troll Witch Doctor is still at the initiate levels currently, as we are sitting at 50 over 80. Fly is sitting on 2,000 gold. Meanwhile, Yumiko is sitting on a 75 supply army. That is going to be the big difference there. Yes, Fly has a Fly now quickly spending all of his gold, getting up to 62 over 80. He is still rather low on lumber, and we are taking a look at what's going on here. Blood Mage picking up a Pendant of Energy as well, so he's going to be able to siphon a lot of mana. Voodoo Lounge in the center portion of the map has not been attacked, but is still giving sight to the majority of Yumiko's army. Yumiko's still looking for expansions any which way, and you can see that the Blade Master is spotted right now, but what is going on? The Blade Master able to slip away, and now setting up more Scout Towers. All right, Scout Tower after Scout Tower. Yes, these Scout Towers are very, very important as it gives sight. They're essentially very expensive sentry wards right now, but it does add a little bit of play here. Also, Yumiko, who was going so heavy on peasants earlier, now can train militia. Here is the fight. You can see the peasants are all up in the front here. Blizzard now being brought in, and that Blizzard was just raining down, but because of the Raiders, that channeling cannot be maintained. Blood Mage, is it going to be able to perhaps get off of Flame Strike anywhere? There's the ethereal form to allow that Archmage to get away, as all the peasants are now backing off. Raiders now coming into position as well. You can see that the Demolishers are trying to attack and take down the peasants, but the peasants do have damage resistance against those Demolishers. Meanwhile, the guard tower is now going to be repaired here, and this is going to be a very interesting fight. The Spirit Walkers, there are only 2 of them on the field, so they have to be very careful how they use that mana and how to counteract the slow of Fly. Meanwhile, Arcane Vault now being added here as well, and what this Arcane Vault is going to do is allow for the speed training of additional guard towers, since there are Ivory Towers here once more. All right, guard tower, what is this? Workshops now being built by Yumiko. So Yumiko playing a very strange game here, and once more using that ethereal form in order to get away from that ensnare. Beautifully done there, as the Archmage cannot be attacked by anything from the Orc army aside from the Witch Doctors and those Spirit Walkers. All right, ethereal form, while Blizzarding can't get in, well, I guess he can't get ensnared, but he can get hexed right there as you are taking a look, and Yumiko being forced to pull back here. All right, we are now going into a flare. We might be going into mortar teams as well eventually, as another Blizzard comes in. There is the Blade Master trying to engage, and the Blade Master has to be extremely careful, will be forced to use the Potion of Invulnerability if it is not careful. Ethereal form now being used once more, and you can see the Demolishers doing exactly what I think Demolishers should be doing in this game, attacking the peasants as well as attacking that guard tower. We are looking at the very strong push here. The Spellbreakers are trying to get in position, perhaps get a good surround on some units. No, getting a takedown on the Demolishers. Meanwhile, Blizzard is still raining down on a lot of units here. There is one flying machine. Mortar teams still need to be added, as this is just an absolute firefight. There is no real determining line, as both players do not have very strong positioning. All right, let's take a look. Back over here, Yumiko is in trouble. He has no easy way of escape since he did construct buildings. Meanwhile, you can take a look at Fly. He has Demolishers in the backfield, but a lot of his units have been taken down. Both sides suffering serious damage, as we're looking at a level 5 Witch Doctor continuing the push. Level 4 Blade Master now pushing in here as well. We can take a look. An Ogre Mauler trying to take down a Blood Mage. The Blood Mage is going to be able to fend it off here as Yumiko does give the GG. A rather strange battle as Fly easily takes game 1 in this series by simply being in the right place at the right time. He was able to shut down the expansion of Yumiko. Yumiko didn't have any units early on. Losing the Archmage twice ended up putting Yumiko behind the 8-ball, and he was never really able to climb out from that hole. Yes, he did have a higher resource score, and yes, he was able to train up a lot of units, but eventually the Fly was able to establish up his own economy as well, build an even larger army, and then keep his own units alive. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.